Another question that I get asked a lot is, if my child doesn't want acupuncture, then how else can you treat them? What other tools do you have in your toolbox that can help my child? I have many tools in my toolbox that can help your child. You don't have to get acupuncture to get the effect of Chinese medicine. So acupuncture stimulates acupuncture points all along the body to elicit a healing response. Acupuncture using needles is just one way of eliciting that healing response, but it's not the only way. So for children in particular, because they're sensitive and it doesn't take as much for them to get results with this sort of healing, the other tools that I have are simple, effective, and don't require the use of any needles. They're particularly effective for the younger kids, like 6, 7, and below. So one tool that I have is cold lasers. I've got both a red and a blue laser, and the way this works is they're laser pens. They get placed onto acupuncture points, the same ones that we would stimulate with the needles, and they basically utilize light therapy to stimulate the acupuncture points. So that's one tool. Those are pretty effective. They're also fun for younger kids because they need to be held onto the skin for a certain amount of time. So I usually have the kids count with me. So we make a game out of it. So that's really fun. I also have something called a microcurrent pen. And this is a tool that generates a microcurrent, basically. It's kind of like almost like a little jolt of electricity. It's powered by a battery, so it's not like going to give you a crazy shock or anything. It's just a tiny little bit of stimulation, but same sort of thing. It gets placed on the skin at particular, the acupuncture points, and it stimulates the points to elicit the healing response. For kids 6 and under in particular, we can do something called pediatric Tui Na, which is a Chinese medical massage. And it's just massage, it's just using your hands. And it stimulates acupuncture points, and there's also certain techniques you can use to treat various different things that your child might be dealing with. Pediatric Tui Na is also a really good tool to use at home. So a lot of times I will teach parents like a basic technique, like a basic routine that they can then implement on their child at home daily. So pediatric Tui Na is a great one. We've also got herbs, Chinese herbal formulas, which are great. Chinese herbs are awesome. And for kids in particular, we've got tincture-based formulas. So a lot of them are in a glycerin base. So they're liquid and they're in a glycerin base so that they're kind of sweet. It makes them more palatable. So far, I haven't had any kids not take herbs. Like they're easy enough to take. They're in dropper form. They're easy enough to take and palatable enough to where kids accept them pretty readily. But they're also easy to add into juice or applesauce or some sort of food, to have your kid just eat it that way. So yeah, herbs, lasers, microcurrent, massage are just some of the tools that I can use that do not require the use of needles, but are still just as effective.